time I was out here working and selling one of them grade kits. And I said, oh Lord, I ain't ready to go to the same.
This is Olivewood Cemetery. Located in the heart of Houston, Texas, it is the final resting place of over 4,000 African Americans that endured the horrors of slavery and the injustices of the Jim Crow South. Each remaining monument acts as a stone biography for a community that was thought of as property just 10 years prior. So many remarkable figures in Black Houston history are laid to rest at Olivewood Cemetery, but it is how they operated as a community that informs and inspires us today. Unique cultural and spiritual expressions that can be traced throughout the American South, the Caribbean, and West African regions can be found at Olivewood. These motifs and designs that were once hidden beneath the floorboards of slave quarters and praise houses could now be displayed freely and without fear, all in hopes to ensure their loved ones' peace in the afterlife. Sadly, that rest was not guaranteed. Too often, cemeteries like Olivewood fall into disrepair, and at best, nature reclaims both body and space. But at the worst of times, a cemetery can fall victim to vandalism and developers. Our historical marker lists the achievements of some remarkable individuals laid to rest at Olivewood Cemetery. But what good is a historical designation if it doesn't grant you access to funds or grant you access to city and state officials? The fight for Olivewood continues. This image combines the original plan for Olivewood submitted to the county clerk's office in 1875 and a drone image taken in late 2019. In the nearly 2 years since the photograph, more high-rises, townhomes, and businesses have either started construction or finished it. The increased development, along with the increased flooding from White Oak Bayou, all spell peril for Olivewood. When we think of all the challenges facing Olivewood, the odds seem insurmountable. But in the end, we'll rely on the same resources our ancestors at rest called upon: hard work and hope. This is Mr. Charles Cook. No one embodies the spirit of hope and hard work more than him. He's an absolute joy to be around and is hands down everyone's favorite tour guide. Once he's pulled you into a story, it's hard to walk away.
When I leave Hollywood, I go and write down how many hours I do when I do Hollywood. So last year, I think I calculated over 500 hours.
Mr. Cook!
At Hollywood. So
wow.
I'm just wondering now, with 2022, with me retiring, how many hours I'll probably give to Olivewood. It will probably be at least 1,000 a year. I definitely want to do my writing and about Olivewood and my 92 8 plus 21. Wait a minute, 8 plus 21 is 29. So I have 29 years of Hollywood. Do I
Man,
have
Mr.
Hollywood-itis or
I-
not? I think I got it bad.
I think you're patient
As
zero.
Cecilia, you say, I got Hollywood-itis. And I can't help it. And I enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing better I think I could be doing in my life than giving time to Hollywood. And it's just so special.
It is,
Powerful
you know.
message, yes. So sometimes we just don't realize how blessed we are, and you know how sacred this place is,
Mhm.
you know, and how important it is for
Yeah.
us to save it, and
Exactly.
and to appreciate it, and to honor it, you know, and
Yeah.
to cherish it, you know. What's so phenomenal about this place is that Paul Jennings, we have been, as we say, Hollywood is living history.
Mm-hmm.
We have been doing so much research here in the last several years. The board and Vicky and yourself, you know, Paul and
You.
me, and how we've been able to piece so much of that history together and tie it into Hollywood, or looking at the people that are buried here, start doing research
Mm-hmm.
on their lives and what they contributed
Yeah.
to Houston and to this community.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. And I would love to really write on is just the women.
Mm-hmm.
The women of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Really, just the women.
Mm-hmm.
What they contributed, because behind every strong man, there's a strong woman. And these women, girl, when I tell you they contributed,
They did, you know.
woo, these women were phenomenal. They kept the community together.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the schools, you know, I always think about the Mothers Club. These women in the community, whether they had a child at their school or not, because they lived in the vicinity of their school, they became part of the Mothers Club of all the schools. All the schools had Mothers Club, and they were kind of like the forerunners of what we call the PTO or the PTA.
Oh, yeah.
And these women, they gave of their time and them resources for those students.
Mhm.
You know, whether they needed a piano, or they needed distributing education, or they needed a special class, a sewing class, or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, they gave. They gave.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that's the moral of the story, that we all have given. You know, so we got to continue to give. We have to give. Yes. I didn't know until I got involved with Olivewood that I had great-grandparents buried here. So it took on even a more special meaning
I know.
to come and be with them, you know, and to understand. And now I'm trying to do even more research on my family. You know, I've been doing so much research on people here in Hollywood till sometime I've omitted my own family. So Paul has been kind of getting on me saying,
It's your turn.
It's my turn. Yeah, I need to find out a little bit more of my family tree, which I know some, but I want to know more, you know? And so, I don't know, Hollywood is, Shirley,
It's powerful.
as Margot always say, we standing on the shoulders of giants, you know? We really are. We are. We're standing on the shoulders of those that came, you know, before us. So, yeah, Hollywood, girl, and Houston, it's phenomenal history.